Across the millennia, the enigmatic Leagues of Votann have been content to exist in relative isolation. But as horrific warp storms tear the galaxy in half, even they have been forced to abandon this isolationism and will soon become a far more active force on the galactic stage. This will surely come as something of a shock to the other major powers, who are largely unaware that the Leagues and the billions of kin that make them up even existed in the first place. But how is this possible? How can an empire whose size and population far exceeds the dwindling Eldari or the fledgling Tau have remained hidden for so long? This can be at least partly ascribed to the almost inaccessible region of the galaxy that the greatest leagues have claimed as their own, the Galactic Core. It is a territory overwhelmed by cosmic phenomena, gravitic anomalies, and dense asteroid clusters ejected by the supermassive black hole that lies at the galaxy's heart. Deep in the core, most star systems and the worlds within them are bathed in deadly cosmic radiation, or nothing but shattered husks split apart by overwhelming gravitational forces. Only the Orcs and the Tyranids have made successful, lasting inroads into the core and encountered the Leagues, and neither has had the inclination to share their discovery of the kin to the wider galaxy. But the Leagues themselves seem to have been almost engineered to thrive within this environment. Through a combination of physiology and technology, the kin have been able to settle within vast holds. These might be enormous tunnel networks that span entire worlds, collections of heavily armed and armored void stations, chains of domes scattered across asteroid belts, fleets of enormous factory vessels, hollowed out industrial moons, or grav-anchored stations orbiting black holes or other stellar phenomena. The core itself may be the richest part of the galaxy in terms of natural resources. Incalculable riches are produced within the region's stellar nurseries, and the kin have developed the means to split planets apart and reap the molten harvest. The various leagues maintain trade routes and communication networks, everything they need to be entirely self-sufficient. For most of their history, there was simply no need for the kin to ever leave the core. But this is not to say that they never ventured out into the wider galaxy. In fact, the kin possess a deep spirit of exploration. They are well aware of the state of things outside their borders, and this has only deepened their commitment to remain hidden. Kin prospecting fleets roam many territories of the galaxy, but in their dealings with other races, they are unforthcoming, never sharing any details that might reveal their origins, history, and current state. And these dealings are generally limited in scope, a single fleet, conflict, or a trade agreement at most. So while the Imperium and the other powers of the galaxy have remained mostly ignorant of the Leagues, they have actually encountered them many times before. They have just misconstrued these encounters. Imperial records in particular are full of references to wandering merchant races, unclassified Xenos trade fleets, or abhuman enclaves. How many of these might have actually been the kin? And when a single league in more constant communication with the Imperium found itself on the wrong end of High Fleet Leviathan, the Imperium, for their part, believed the entire race had been destroyed. The Tau, meanwhile, know the kin as the Demiurge. To the Eldari, they are the Heliosi Ancients, and to others, they are the Ganastari, the Grom, or the Kreg. But the Leagues of Votann are no longer able to hide behind the veil of ignorance that has kept them protected for so long. In addition to the constant incursions by the Orcs and the Tyranids, League excavations have increasingly awakened Necron tomb worlds. The tentative alliances and trade pacts with the Eldari and the Tau have begun to break down, and the Imperium has grown bolder in its search for lost technologies that the kin still possess. And above them all, the powers of the Dark Gods are growing ever stronger, and the Leagues of Votann will not be spared if their designs come to fruition. In the face of such threats, the Leagues have no choice, and the path ahead is clear. They must strike out across the galaxy and claim the stars from those who no longer deserve them.
In Incoming, the Templin Institute discusses the theories and ideas found across alternate worlds. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to join the Templin Institute, consider pledging to our Patreon page. Along with increased security access, you'll be able to vote in polls to determine future topics, get custom wallpaper every week, and receive some other exclusive rewards.